Hello everybody, my name is Shadow, a part of the VillianSyndicate, and I'm here today playing my all-time favorite strategy game, besides Rome 2 Total War or any Total War game. This is called Rise of Nations. Now this game was my childhood favorite because it really had some incredible replay value on it. It really made me feel like I was playing a real-time strategy game, or real-time strategy RTS. But yeah, this game has some amazing just gameplay physics. The graphics aren't all there, but it doesn't really matter because the gameplay makes up for it. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and do a little historical battle. I'm gonna go show you the battle, like Rome versus the Germanic tribes of Germania, pretty much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play as the Romans versus the Germans or the Germanians, however you want to say it. Now, I'm going to start off in the classical age, which means I'll start off with legions, and then the medieval age, which I suppose that starts at 500 AD, which has something called Caesar's legions as the main, I guess you could say, swordsman of the Roman Empire back then. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys on the battlefield. So here we are on the battlefield. I am having my capital known as Constantinople, which I suppose that would be the Eastern Roman Empire at the time. As you can see, my allies are Julius Caesar, Empress Theodora, Empress Fibia. Oh, they're moving, okay. I can't count all these. Empress Livia, Empress Fibia Sabrina, who I have no idea who that is. And my enemies will be Frederick the Great, Alaric the Visigoth. And if you guys need a history lesson, Alaric the Visigoth was during the Roman Empire. Alaric was the reason that Rome actually fell because Rome had taken the Visigoths' land, and the Visigoths actually sacked Rome because it was a bunch of reasons why the Visigoths sacked Rome. One of them was because of a corrupt general who went behind the Emperor of Rome. I don't remember what his name was at the time, and he basically backstabbed the Emperor and, counterattacked Alaric and his troops. And Alaric, they were just a bunch of hardworking not Germanic. Well, they were Germanic. They were more of Dacian people, where they're from northern Macedonia. But they were a bunch of hardworking nomads, I guess you can call them, since they were searching for homes, that really just wanted a good life for themselves. Unfortunately, Rome back then was not exactly how the movies and how the games perceive it as. Rome was very corrupt back then. In fact, Rome was more corrupt, how can I say, than Somalia would be right now. Pretty much all politics back then were dealt with by killing someone, and that's unfortunately the truth behind it. So as you can see, I've clicked my library, and I have a military research level 2, which means I can research mercenaries. I can click that. I can also click my civic levels, my commerce levels, and my science levels. Now, science back in Rome 2 went as far as about the trebuchet, I believe. There was a bunch of science that Romans did encounter, like, well, not science, but inventions, such as the, well, I'm not really sure if it was the Romans, but it was back in the ancient times. It was, I cannot remember for the life of me what it was called. It was a gigantic tower. I believe it was used in the siege of Troy. God, I can't remember what it was called. It was basically a giant siege tower that held over, I think it was over 500 holes in it where it would fire. I think it was either iron or steel, and I really can't remember it. If you guys can remember what I'm talking about, feel free to leave a comment because I have no idea what I'm even talking about now. But yeah, it was used back then, but the problem was, when the war ended, they couldn't move it because it was so massive. It was so massive they actually had to destroy it. And it's a shame that they had to do that because it was such a masterpiece of, war itself. But yeah. So this game is going to be the all-time RTS game for me. I just love it because, you can see automatically that there are soldiers, these are archers, Princess or Empress Livia's archers, her catapults. Her general, for some reason, is pink. I don't know why Empress Livia is pink. We are in the city of Cumae, or Cumia. I don't really know where that is in Rome, if that is a Roman city. It's in the city of Antium, and I know that for a fact that it is in Italy. It's northern or southern Italy. As you can see, my allies over here, what are they? This is Empress Theodora has complete control over Rome, and she has built a huge empire. pretty big empire so far, and my little Constantinople is not even getting halfway built yet. It's kind of sad. I know that is definitely not a city, but Julius Caesar has built a city in his son's name, or his nephew's name, I suppose, Caesar Augusta. Is that even a real city in Rome, or was that a real city? I have no idea. Anybody who knows history can please give me the comments for this, because I have no idea if that was a real city in Rome or not. Let's see the Germans. The Germans have, of course, Berlin, which back then Berlin didn't exist because Berlin was only made in the, I believe it was in medieval times when Berlin was actually created. It was after Munich. We have the city of, where is it at? Here it is, Brandenburg. And I know for a fact that was not made in Germanic times. Vienna may have been made back then. They have the Colossus for some reason. I don't know why the Colossus is there. But as you can see, they have, what are these? They are barbarians. How, actually that's pretty historically accurate. There were barbarians back then. As you can see, Empress Livia's legionnaires are fighting, but they're not doing very great against the barbaric hordes. Now, Romans and the Germanic tribes were fighting for, it seems, over not just decades, maybe like millenniums, or not millenniums, whatever 100 years is. I have no idea. I'm not that clever when it comes to thinking about that stuff. But yeah, they were fighting for at least 200 years. I'd have to say the most epic Roman war would probably be the Punic Wars, when, you know, they were fighting against Spania, which was Spain back then, I suppose. It was also the Hannibal Barca Wars as well with Carthage. Now, these are carrying trebuchets. Now, trebuchets were the upgraded versions of the catapults. As you can see, these are the medieval versions of Caesar's legions. And as you can see, they're starting to get like a little bit of a medieval mix to it. You can start seeing that it looks more like strongholds than it does Rome 2 or Rome Total War. That's because this game was based because of that. There were, I don't know for a fact, but I do believe in the advanced Roman Empire times that there were actually soldiers or archers with crossbows. That's what I believe for a fact, and good God, that's a big army line. Yeah, as you can see, who is this? Empress Theodora and I believe Caesar are either marching a convoy or I don't know what they're doing. This looks pretty suspicious. They're bringing in the supply wagon, so maybe they're bringing in some heavy artillery to support in this battle over here. And as you can see, Caesar is about to completely demolish Wittenberg, which is a sub-city of Berlin, or the Frederick the Great. Now, I like this game not only because the ultimate strategy that it has with it, but because the music as well. The music is really well done in this game. I will say, however, that the old version of the game, which was not the extended version, I'm playing the extended version, by the way, the producers or the crew that made this game, apparently they wanted to make something that was a little different than other normal games, like, you know, other strategy games, other games in general. So in their credits, instead of putting in their own music, like, you know, making their own music or hiring a band or orchestra to make their music for them for credits, they decided it would be a great idea for them to try karaoke night. And what I mean by that is, I literally mean they tried karaoke as the credits. Like, when the credits rolled down the screen, all you could hear was the producers of the actual game screaming in your ear. I, for one, found that hilarious, but also a very big turn-off, because A, I don't want to hear you screaming in my ear. I'm not playing a rock concert. I'm playing, you know, Rise of Nations. I want to have fun playing as a historical faction, not to have fun listening to, you know, what sounds like a mosh pit in the credits area. But yeah, this game is very fun, I have to admit. It took a lot of design work. As you can see, the AI and the UI seems pretty well done. It's not perfect, but it does the job, and it looks really fantastic on screen. My computer's not lagging at all. My computer's really crappy right now. I just actually got my Asus Radeon R9 280X graphics card, and it's on the same level as the GTX 770, so I should be good to go with some advanced gameplay sometime, maybe next month or the month after. But yeah, as you can see, Empress Theodora is just keeping her soldiers almost like the British did in a line formation. Oh, she's brought reinforcements. Okay. Empress Theodora has brought in more Caesar's legions. For Rome and country. Yeah, as you can see, this barbaric castle over here is taking one hell of a beating. Now, I'm not really sure how the catapults would have... I'm not sure if Rome actually had trebuchets. I know they had catapults back then. I'm not so sure about trebuchets, though. I have to say, I kind of like the docking system, but it really isn't like well done in this game. It's done, but it's not completely well done. I can show you what I mean by... let me go ahead and build a dock. Shouldn't take very long. So I can go ahead and upgrade once I upgrade my library. I still gotta upgrade my library. Let's go ahead and upgrade all this stuff. Hey, piggy, piggy. It's like Chris Walker was in the game or something. As you can see, my people are hard at work cutting down the wood and foresting. My resources are labeled up here. This is the classical age, as you can see, with all the swords and spears and arrows, and it's not cannons yet. I will say that on the Enlightenment age, this game looks absolutely amazing. It really does show what it looks like on Empire Total War. It really does make it seem like a really good game. Like this one, I mean, not Empire. Empire's already a good game. As you can see, the barbaric hordes of Germania are fighting against my noble legions. Actually, this is Empress Fibia Sabina. Alaric the Visigoth versus all the legions of Rome. So, if you guys want to see a series of these videos, like I can do a video for each faction, such as Rome. There's about 20 factions, I believe, in the game. There's China, Russia, Rome, aka Italy. Actually, no, I think it's called Rome. Never mind. Rome, Germany or Germania, or what to say it. Spain, the United States, Britain or Britannia. Australia, which I don't know why that would even be a faction. I don't know, because most Australians are just British. Which I'm probably going to be very much I probably insulted a lot of people just saying that, so I apologize ahead of time, but yeah, most of your soldiers are the same, aren't they? I know the SAS are copied from the SAS, so don't sue me for that. Anyways, there's even African tribes, which is pretty interesting in my opinion, because I always wanted to play as Somalians without actually being terrorists. But yeah, there's Romans, which I really like. With the you can automatically tell, or you all probably know that the most advanced or the most interesting units Rome had were the legions or Roman Empire, not Mussolini or any of that stuff. But yeah, Germany in World War II looks pretty impressive. They did a hell of a job on the actual character designs. I gotta say that each character in this game looks amazingly done. The legions look good for the start of it, which would probably be around the the Republic time, which would be these legions right here, to around when the Republic transferred to an empire. That's when Caesar crossed the Rubicon, and when Pompey and Caesar went into full conflict, and when Augustus technically Caesar was not the first emperor, Augustus was, or Octavian. But yeah. This is Amber. I forgot to mention on this map, on the actual game itself, there are resources you can actually collect. Let me see if I can't figure it out. Oh, I think it's the other one. Where is this? What is this? A Senate building? I never seen that. Let me try this building. The Senate. I never saw that before. Well, it is the upgraded version, so maybe it's because of that. But yeah, let's see if I can't place a building somewhere. Send a merchant from merchants. Oh, I gotta send a merchant. Okay, so I gotta build a merchant shop. Where's the merchant? There it is, the market. I believe that's where it's, you get the merchants from. But anyway, this game, it came out in either 2004 or 2005. And honestly, I played this game non-stop as a kid. I played it when I was like 9, 10, maybe sometime around there. What is this? Research despotism. Military research and barracks units 50% cheaper. Despot Patriot, a general who provides supply line of sight. Ooh, we can research a republic. Interesting. I can also change Rome's empire into a monarchy. That would be interesting to see Caesar the king. And, well, that would be every senator's nightmare, or every Roman politician's nightmare. Uh-oh. What does that mean? That means, what is this? Senator. Is this Pompey? I guess this is Pompey now. Okay, so I can only create one senator. How many Senate buildings can I make? I think you can make a couple. No, you can only make one. Okay, so maybe I can. Okay, maybe I can't do that close. Let's make a city over here. I forgot to mention you can actually rename your cities. I'm gonna leave mine Constantinople because, you know, why not? Or Nova Roma. I'll name my new city Nova Roma or Carthago or Carthage, whatever. But yeah, this is the Senate Senate officer, aka the general. He serves as a general, but his real name is the senator. So pretty interesting, I suppose. What do I need? I need medieval age. Oh yes, I need the medieval age. Okay, so I can upgrade to allegiance, which I don't know what that actually means. I have no idea what that actually means. One more research. Yeah, we can now research medieval times. Yippee me. So, this is, let's see how our generals and how our fighting is doing so far. Ooh, the the barbarians are invading Rome. Oh no, it's the second time, actually it's the 5th time that happens so far. Yeah, the AI is not great, but it does the job. Most of the time when the AI does this, it's either regrouping or it's doing a counterattack. The AI is smart enough to know that if there's an army over here that they can back up. Actually, I think I can make a drawing somewhere. Where's the drawing at? No, I don't think I can. Anyways, they're smart enough to know if there's like a Roman or an enemy army over here. They should back up and they should come over here. And as you can see, they're striking in the middle of where they thought it was going to be empty. But yeah, they brought most of their army over here. And as you can see, that the allies do communicate. I guess it's just because the AI is smarter than I am. But they will communicate and they will send backup. And as you can see, there's these little notifications up here. Now I forgot to mention that, guys, that this game is about 20 bucks on Steam. It's really well worth it, and you can actually play multiplayer on this game. I haven't found anybody to play with yet, so if anyone wants to play with me, you know, just hit me up with a message. Let us see how Empress Livia is handling things. Seems like she's sending in her scouts to do most of the bloody work so far. She has a knight. I don't know if they actually had those in Rome or not. Maybe that's a little historically inaccurate. She has her scouts being chased by Alaric's light cavalry. Now they're to be called the Vandals. So now we're in the more advanced Roman times. Vandals were in Roman times, but they were more or less in the 700 AD times. These would basically be called, what are these called? Caesar's legions. And as you can see, they look pretty unique. They've got the symbol on their heads, which represents the empire back then. Alaric the Visigoth is pretty much going to fall pretty soon. But the interesting thing about this game is when you are down, your ally will send in a whole army to assist you. Basically, if Caesar or you know, Empress Livia were to send a whole army over here and capture Brandenburg, once you would do that, whoever earns it, Alaric the Visigoth would already send his entire, I guess you could say, colony of soldiers. I'm not really sure what they called them back then with their barbarians, but he would send an entire army of soldiers over here and try to retake the city that was stolen from him, or was stolen from his allies. Pretty interesting strategy that the AI has, you know, able to do this stuff. So let's see. Empress Theodora is pounding Wittenberg with her mighty trebuchets, and as you can see, she has a backup unit in case of an assault like that, which was a counter-strike by Frederick the Great. Frederick the Great is sending in his barbaric hordes, and he seems to be utterly eradicating the Romans. As you can see, the Vandals have a really powerful sword attack, which means that their melee would most likely do a lot more damage than our soldiers would. Because you can see that they use great swords while we Romans just use our plain and simple gladius or I think it's called either gladius or scotus, I'm not really sure. But yeah. Let's see, Julius Caesar is finally sending in his army. How big has Julius Caesar's gotten now? He's pretty big. He's got Avaricum, or Avaricum, however you want to say it. I still don't know if Caesar Augustus is actually a real name or not. I know that's a real name, Neapolis, which is where Naples used to be. Constantinople, and my city is Parma. I know Parma was a real city. Let's go ahead and build oh, we can't build a Senate building? That sucks. We can build a university in Parma. Let's build a university here. Now, let's see the names of our cities. We have Aratium, that's a Roman city. Perugia would be it's either African or Middle Eastern. Saturnia was either Italian, which is Roman, or Greek, like when Rome took over Greece. Buxentum was a Roman city. I don't know where at there, I just know it's Roman because of the way it sounds. Bonia, or Bonia, I don't know how to say that. Like, Lugdunum, that was actually northern Italy, almost in Germania, I believe. Antium was in Italy, Actium was in Egypt, the Battle of Actium. Emertia Augusta. I believe that entire name, any city with Augusta behind it, or, after it, was post-Roman Empire. It was when the Roman Empire already formed and Augustus had taken over and had basically almost conquered most of Europe back then. We've got Cumii. We've got, what is this called? Beneventum. We've got Genoa. We've got, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, Dyrrachium, or it sounds like a dinosaur's name. Dyrrachium. Actually sounds like a poison. Brandenburg. We've got Würzburg. We've got Linz. I believe Linz was actually a real barbarian city. Bonn was a city in the Enlightenment time, which would be the Empire Total War time period of Germany, or Germania. Magdeburg was also a Germanic city. It was not just Germany, it was Germanic. Vienna, I'm not really sure about. Augsburg, I really am not sure about that. I think it was Enlightenment or medieval time when that was formed. Konstanz was during the Prussian time period. Braunschweig was Prussian. Dresden was, I don't really know for certain, but I believe it was medieval. Mainz, no idea. Rostock, medieval. Nuremberg was definitely medieval. And if you guys can tell, I'm making most of this up because I can tell by the name itself it was like medieval, Prussian, Germanic, or Germanic, however you want to say it. What is this person doing? Her spy is showing her leg. I don't understand what the concept of that is. There's really no point. Oh no, the spy's being killed! Allied capital under attack by Otto von Bismarck. Good gosh. Like I said earlier, they would bring in their entire army over here and try and, good gosh, they've almost like razed our city. I am not really sure how this battle is going to play out. I kind of jumped the gun when it came to, a battle of Royale, sorta. We've got a bunch of Roman cities and a bunch of armies fighting one at a time. Your best bet would be to draw in an entire army, like an entire, 12 legions would probably do it for one city, maybe. Am I upgraded yet? I have not upgraded yet, have I? I need to upgrade. Bring me my soldiers of war. So, let us try. Oh, I haven't showed you the sea battles yet, have I? Well, let's actually show you before I upgrade. what they look like. So, Romans back then did have something called fire rafts. What they were basically used for were catching other ships on fire. It automatically makes sense to somebody that because, you know, a ship is made of wood, that your best bet to destroy it would be setting it on fire, throwing a well, not Molotov, but throwing you know, a flaming torch at a ship that's made of wood would most likely catch it on fire. Now, as you can see, this is the Galay, or the Galay. Now, this was a Roman warship, or Roman skirmish ship. This is the Dramone. This is basically a pursuing ship. It didn't look like that, that's for sure, but it was a pursuing ship. Let me go ahead and show you the upgraded Karak and the, what is this? That doesn't tell me. The Caravel. Now, these are more or less Empire, Total War kind of ships, but I don't really know if Rome ever used a ship that looked like that. I don't believe so. This is the Karak, which looks more like a Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl ship, but I don't really think, in all honesty, that Rome ever would have used a ship like that. Caravel is a upgraded version of the Roman Drog, or the whatever you want to call it. Its job was most likely to catch pursuing ships. It was more or less used as a patrol ship in the middle of wars. Let's see how well they fare when we bring them over here to the main conflict. As you can see, my soldiers are now Caesar's legions. I wonder if I can upgrade them more. I cannot. But as you can see, they are Caesar's legions. They have their own little agendas and all that stuff. I kind of want to see how they look from behind. It looks pretty interesting. They do look like an organized fighting force, I have to admit. Now, I can upgrade my scout to an explorer, which I don't know what that actually does. I really don't. Let's make a caravan. Caravans will basically be your trade for the entire game. Caravans go to every city in your allied district. They will not, however, go into enemy districts. Unless, now this is crucial, if an enemy city is right next to your allied city, which means if, say, let's see if you can see, if my allies were right here and the enemy was right where the enemy is right there, but if my allies were right there instead of the enemy being right there, my caravan would still somehow want to go over here and transfer goods. Now, in this game, your enemies can, in fact, raid your caravans, and there are, you know, special items to be raided with caravans. Most of the time, it'll tell you where the caravan's going. You can see right here that this trade route will actually go to it will actually go to Rhegium, and that will be transferred. Actually, let's see. It's not showing me where caravan's going. Where's my caravan? Ah, here it is. It will show you where you're going to be going. Establish a new route, Constantinople to Rome. That basically means that it will constantly go from my route in Constantinople to Rome, which is over here. Now, if you're playing live, if you're playing with another friend, you can also do the same thing. It works the same way, I guess. You can also buy or sell your goods here. I can sell all my goods. You know, I can sell all my wood, and I can get a percentage of the profit. The more caravans you have, the more money and the more the more income you can raise. I apologize. As you can see, this is the Julius Caesar caravan, and he comes from Constantinople to Caesar Augusta to Rome to all the capital cities to get their caravans. There are sub-cities that can get the caravans, but it only depends on how many caravans you have total. I believe it's a total amount of 10 caravans. I'm not exactly 100% certain. Now, what's going to happen is, it's my expert, I probably should move him. He's going to take the goods from Constantinople and move them to Beneventum, which I believe that is the capital city of... Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. I have no idea where Beneventum is. Where is Beneventum? Beneventum. Beneventum is over here. This must mean that this must be a trade capital. Now, what does this mean? This means that you will constantly just get a constant economic surplus from the caravans that are bringing in and shipping out your merchandise. Now, another thing is the merchants. Merchants act sort of like, I guess you could say, ore refineries for your goods, or for rare resources like amber. Now, what that means is, amber gives us 10% wood and 10% coin. My merchant will set up over here, and he will just go ahead and start refining the resource, or refining this element, and gaining us non-stop income. And he had to put his freaking building in front of the road. That's great. But yeah, this is the game Rise of Nations. I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more of these videos, I can do some historical battles if you want me to, and do some historical replays of what happened in the real battles and all that stuff. Good God, they've got a whole like barbaric horde over here. But yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Please like and subscribe if you like it. And I hope you guys like this game. Check it out on Steam. I can leave a description in the video if you want me to send you where you can buy it on Steam. It's either 20 bucks or $15, I believe. But it's well worth it. You can trust me on that. But yeah, hope you guys like the video, and see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody!